Hello, friends. It is Sherry again. I am the author of The Lighthouse Guide, Love and Advice from a Fellow Human. And today is heavy. Today I am feeling the weight of collective grief and outrage that I am witnessing out on social media and in the headlines. And so I suppose I wanted to get on here today to talk about how we heal from trauma. I am not a psychiatrist. I am not accredited or educated in any way. So I want to put that caveat out there. I am just a person, um, a mom, a wife, a sister, a daughter, a friend, and I am sharing my lived experience and my observations. But I wanted to come on here today to speak about the trauma that I am bearing witness to, because the release of more files into the public record, the more they are being discussed, the more I am seeing individuals share their own trauma, their own lived experience. And one of the most important things I think we can do in those moments when someone confides in us something traumatic that has happened to them or in their lives is to bear compassionate witness. Isn't that what therapy is, with the skill and guidance attached to it? It is bearing compassionate witness. It is sitting with someone in that uncomfortable space of not knowing what to do, knowing also that we can't undo, but allowing them to feel their feelings, to share their truths and their stories, giving space for those. When too often we are told through so many um, subtle and not so subtle ways that we should silence ourselves, that we should not make waves, that we should not be rude, that we should not make other people uncomfortable. And I think one of the most beautiful things that I am seeing right now in the days since so much of this horror has been made public is that the communities that I'm a part of are holding space for people to use their voices. They're holding space and allowing themselves to be uncomfortable. They are holding people to account and saying, we're going to listen now. We're not going to silence people. It's okay that those who have harmed sit in discomfort right now. In fact, it is long overdue. There's something that I wanted to read from my book, very short passage, where I talk about separating faith from institutional beliefs and traditions. It's a longer chapter, but this is a quote that I wanted to share. The love of the universe has no body. We must be the eyes that see injustice, the ears that hear cries of suffering, the hands which offer aid and comfort, the hearts which beat in a united rhythm, the lungs to breathe in collective hope, the legs to walk away from hate, and the elbows to link in solidarity of purpose. Now, one of the things that I have heard as a refrain in the wake of so many unsettling headlines and events, not only here in our country, but around the world, is this sense of despair, this sense of losing hope in humanity. And I'm here after a few days of wrestling with those feelings myself to say what I'm seeing as a response to these horrific acts, these horrific accounts, reaffirms my faith and hope in humanity. Because I am seeing so many different communities stand up, stand together, link elbows, and say, no more. No more are we going to allow others to harm while we stand and breathe. No longer are we going to allow our fellow humans to be silenced simply because that is uncomfortable or inconvenient for those in power. Strangers are holding space for people they've never met, and they're doing it with love and compassion and solidarity. And that is powerful and beautiful. Another passage that I want to share speaks about hope. Hope is believing in the possibility of good outcomes despite the odds. But faith is trusting there is a way there, even when we can't see it. I want you to sit with that for just a moment, because it is natural to fall into this cycle of worry where we think of 1,000 different negative outcomes. Hope is also seeing that there are positive outcomes. And our faith is trusting that even if we can't see a direct line there to that outcome, that it's still possible. Faith isn't a belief in something outside of us. It is a belief that while we have breath, we can speak out. We can link arms with like-minded people and stand in love, in defiance of those who would silence, in defiance of those who would divide. We stand together. The more I see of the response of my fellow humans, their righteous outrage, but also their determination not to meet hate with hate, but with accountability, not to be silenced, but to take this moment in history to link arms and shout, no more. This is why, at the end of every video, I say the same words. I say them because I mean them. Because if you are here today watching this video, hearing me speak, I know that I mean this when I say, I am glad you were born. Because I know that you were brought here to hear me out of love. Because you need to hear this. You need to be reminded that you are valued and that you are here for a purpose. And I can't wait to see what you do in this life. So let's get out there and let's fight for humanity. Until next time. Goodbye.